What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Flash Season 4 Episode 2 video. We're also going to talk about the trailer for the upcoming episode as well. But this is mixed signals, and we're starting off with a really cool reference to Risky Business, which features Tom Cruise, and we saw Barry flash right into his Risky Business pose, which was absolutely hilarious. I have to say that this has to be one of the best openings of The Flash, and if he hadn't have gone away and sort of come back, we had to have the episode where he comes out of the Speed Force and all of that, well, I have to say this would have been a great season opener, and this really did drama and kind of like the sitcom style drama a lot better than Supergirl, because we're dealing with the main characters' drama. We're dealing with Flash and Barry and people we really do actually care about. So if you're new to the channel, a like and a subscribe is super appreciated. Slap a like on it if you enjoyed this episode, and subscribe if you never want to miss a video from me. You can decide at the end. We can wait till the end till we've got acquainted. But this episode of The Flash was a hell of a lot of fun. It's a lot less broody and dark as last season. I mean, the first episode showed us hints of that, but this shows us the nice little reset that The Flash has had, and he has had a rebirth there. And, well, they had their couples therapy, which wasn't as kind of cringe and depressing and down and kind of drama-y than what we were expecting. And I think that this show has really kind of gone back to season 1. It's Barry exploring his powers, sort of, or exploring his Spider-Man Homecoming suit here. And the tone of this is just a lot better, I think. We had really cool moments where Barry ran in and saved Joe and the Silicon Valley dude. And I have to say, it was so cool seeing the CGI when he's running in, or not even CGI, I'm not really sure how they make that. I could be completely wrong. It could be like stop motion or something. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know. But he gets all the bits of the grenade, and also the bits with the car as well, where he rips all the stuff of the car off. And when he goes out to Central City Jitters and gets the coffee because he's run out of coffee and all this. It's just so cool. And I have to say, that's what makes this show special, is seeing him use his powers like that and really be the Flash, even though he's dressed as Barry Allen, which is what Supergirl really was lacking last night or the night before, if you're in America. But this episode was fun. It really was good. I really did enjoy it, and I have to say, them changing the tone is a hell of a lot better. And also in couples therapy, we saw a really cool Easter egg, which was, yes, it was the Green Arrow or Oliver Queen, Mayor Queen, whatever, is the Green Arrow cover, which was so cool. And weirdly as well, we had the apartment that has been featured on Arrow and The Flash before, used by these tech billionaires. So yeah, a bit odd there, but I have to say, that crossover was super dope. I absolutely loved it. And upcoming, I've got my Legends of Tomorrow video as well. And at the start of that episode, it's a kind of like a flashback to 6 months ago. And we see the Speed Force storm in the background as well. So yeah, I love these crossovers. Really cool. If you watch them like straight after each other, you see that. It's just really nice kind of fan service, which is what these shows can do now. Because really, they've had a lot of seasons, we've got a lot of shows, and they have a lot of crossover with the people who are watching the show. So it's really neat as well. Now, we've got a new suit, which absolutely looks amazing. I have to say, they've tinkered with the colours here. It looks a hell of a lot more red. It looks a lot more like the comic book red that we had on previous, or that we have in the comics, obviously. And it does look a lot better. And there was a picture, if you check the description below, my Twitter, I did post a picture of a behind-the-scenes image of Grant Gustin, and they're wearing the suit, and it looks even redder. So it's looking a lot more comic book accurate, and I think it looks amazing. And I have to say, the things with the powers and everything like that was so funny. We've got the Fat Flash Easter egg, which is nice as well. It's something which we've wanted to see for quite some time, and I've seen on Twitter over the years that people have kept posting that, and we finally got there as a flotation device. But why didn't he get an oxygen tank, which was pretty funny? and he is just learning all his powers. I'm not sure if after the encounter with Kilgore that some of these powers are going to be stripped back, and we're going to get less of what we've had in this episode, where he will have less technology in there, because we had the Babel protocol, which I did a video the other day, and I was expecting it possibly to be a way for Barry to take down all of like the legends and things like that, just like Batman, who had ways to take down the Justice League. But that wasn't this. It was simply a self-destructive device, which I guess if that gets into the hands of someone like an evil Barry, like Savitar, or possibly the Reverse Flash, that's a way that they could take down that character if that suit is actually stolen. So it's not really for Barry to self-destruct. It's more for if it's like a alarm or something like that. It's like one of those things where you can call someone and they disable your car, which is pretty cool. But these powers were very much like Spider-Man Homecoming, which made me laugh. It's literally a scene. If you haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming, you need to go and see it. It's possibly the best MCU film by far. And we have a scene where Peter Parker has got his new suit given to him by Tony Stark. He's hacked it and he's unlocked all the training protocols, and he kind of like fails with his powers on it as well. So it's quite similar. Very, very similar. And we see the kind of Speed Force boom thing that he has in his hand, which is very Iron Man as well. So Iron Flash, Iron Spider, yeah, it's just really cool. And I don't really mind that they're kind of copying or taking that over as well. So yeah, it was just a lot of fun seeing that as well. And we've got Kilgore, who was a character from the comic books, and this guy was also in Doctor Who, which is really, really cool there. So that's quite neat. And this character was sort of like an AI. It's sort of like the Thinker became later on. He came from an alien planet and kind of stole technology and merged them together. And he was actually a Wally West villain as well back in the 80s, just after Crisis on Infinite Earths, when Wally took that over. However, it was changed here. I quite like the actor. I mean, when he was just sitting there, standing there all broody, like taking people out from the shadows, I was like, oh, it's going to be a bit of a boring character. But I have to say, the actor was really good near the end when he was in his Ironhide cell, but more on that later. So a really good character there. I think that we're going to see more of him. I think we're going to see a lot more of these metas as well as we go through the show. Now, what's interesting as well, we've got the leader, or the warden of Iron Heights, Gregory Wolfe, who was featured in the Jeff Johns run, and he was the warden of Iron Heights, and he really did have a huge contempt and disdain for all of the rogues. He absolutely hates them, and was kind of experimenting on them, torturing them. And I have to say, if you haven't read Jeff Johns' run on it, get Volume 1 and Volume 2. It's really, really good. And you can see in Iron Heights it is incredibly dingy and dark, and it really is a horrible place to be. And you can see why people actually try and escape from there. You can see why the rogues are so angry and don't want to go back to Iron Heights. It is a really, really horrible place. And Gregory Wolfe has just come back in DC Rebirth, and he is in a kind of a weird angle because Barry Allen has actually really screwed up. He has the negative Speed Force in him. He's turned angry and he's been demoted or punished, and he has been sent off to Iron Heights to be a CSI there. So Gregory Wolfe is that dude there, and he seems like a bad guy, and he really hates these rogues, and he's letting them wear their outfits to remind them who they really are. Or is he doing it just so they can escape later on and he can control them all, which leads me on to another theory with the Thinker's plan. So we see at the end, we see Gregory, and we also see Kilgore, or Deacon, in his cell. No electricity, no technology, but there's a camera looking down on him. A bit of a plot hole there. But we see the Thinker, who has managed to work out a symphony and finish a symphony. I guess it's a symphony. I don't really know much about classical music apart from the Star Wars soundtracks. But his plan is that he's grouping all these people together. So he's got one person who has a technology background with him. He also has another person coming up in the next episode. So what I think is that he's grouping all these people together in Iron Heights to get them together and possibly escape, or get the Flash in there so they can all take the Flash down in one go in one isolated area. Now the question is, where did he get his powers? A lot of us are thinking that it could be the Speed Force storm that happened, but what could possibly happen as well is that the Thinker gave him their powers as well, considering they are all technology based so far. We've had one which is technology based. Next episode we have had a new character who is actually going to be having a technology thing around her as well. So it seems like they're all sort of created by the Thinker or powered by the Thinker, and he is working behind the scenes on everything here. So let's jump in, let's take a look at the trailer for next episodes, and I'll discuss that theory just a bit more.
What the hell? Every time we try to do something right, it goes horribly wrong.
Why is this happening?
She's got a good luck field. The more good luck she experiences, the more bad luck she spreads.
No! If Becky keeps winning, bad luck will keep spreading.
How much worse can it get? Maybe we should burn some sage.
The Flash, only this Tuesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
Trailer, we have got Hazard, who will be played by a very, very funny actress, and I expect that the real comedy will continue on here, and it is going to be having Rebecca Sharp, who is going to go under the code name Hazard, and I'm expecting Cisco to come up with that, to be honest, himself. Now, this character was actually in the comics as well. Her grandfather, a gambler who was actually driven to death by losing and later on in his gambling career. So this is a character who has been featured in the comics as well, and it does look like she also has a weird sort of technical device as well around her. So if you remember, I did say just now that the character of Kilgore had a technical thing as opposed to being a proper meta. Now, if all of these characters that were on the screen of the Thinker, if they all turn out to be technical kind of villains, well then this would mean that he actually created these or had a hand some way in actually creating these characters. And I'm excited to see this. It looks like a lot of fun, to be honest. It looks like we're going to see a real kind of whoopsie moments quite a lot. So I really wish I never said that. That's a really, really weird word to use, but I really do like the idea of this, and the actress was decent as well in Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. So it's going to be fun seeing where this actually goes moving forward, and it looks like we're going to have a lot of comedy just like the last episode. And this character will be linked to the Thinker, I think, as well, and she's probably going to end up in Iron Heights as well, just like poor old Kilgore. We have also got Harrison Wells returning in this episode, which is going to be awesome because I really have missed Tom Cavanagh, and really it's going to be awesome seeing him in here. We saw behind the scenes images of him out and about with Cisco and Barry with some sort of kind of computer signal device, possibly to do with poor old Hazard here as well, who probably doesn't really understand what her powers are. And I think we might also learn here when we'll be getting a kind of Harrison Wells doppelganger turn up as well. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like, please subscribe, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.